grain a little bit, and the slope goes right to the left, so it's not going to pitch forward as much as it did on the last hole. Try to play a little undercut, it looked like.
Definitely took a little bit off that 6, a little bit left of the hole.
Flew all the way back there, should come off this slope. We've seen that before. Trying to. Excellent shot by Bernhard Langer.
To the 18th, a par 5. Steve Stricker at 10 under.
Taking it up the right-hand side. I'm not sure he's giving that green a chance there. Maybe the right bunker. Ooh, and that's exactly where it is, right bunker. It's going to be a tough bunker shot. Not a lot of green to work with, but there are other ways to get at that flag, not necessarily straight at it.
Now Perel at 12.
172 back to this hole location. He likes to look at this.
Great chance right here, John, for him to make a statement. If he can do it.
A little bit left of the hole.
And long, that is a big, big mistake. Looks to me like Scott Perel is having a hard time controlling the adrenaline. Everything looks a little ramped up for him right now.
Well, the 12th hole right now looking like potentially a turning point in this championship. Perel is long, Funk out of bounds with his opening tee shot. Langer in position to make a birdie. While we have a moment, let's join David Marr.
Thanks. Here with Scott Peters, Senior Executive Vice President, Regions Financial. And Scott, just recently announced Region committing their extension through 2023. What makes this such a good fit, the Regions tradition, with your bank?
Really exciting time for us. So, you know, at the bank, we serve communities every day, so what's important to us is being part of that community. Sometimes the stars align, sometimes they don't. In this case, we had a great relationship with Tour Champions, a great relationship with Greystone Golf and Country Club, and frankly, a great relationship with the community here in Birmingham, who just loves and comes out and supports this event. So the stars aligned for us to keep it all in one place in our headquarters city, and we're excited we could do that.
Well, you mentioned this community, and what is the financial and the philanthropic impact to the community?
Yeah, it is really important. The financial one, if we look at economic activity, which a lot of times people don't think about, but roughly $25 million of economic activity every year we stage the tradition here in Birmingham, so that's exciting. But probably more exciting is the charitable impact and what we're able to raise for charities, including our primary beneficiary, Children's of Alabama. And if you look at it, since this turned into a major, the tradition, we've been able to raise since 2011 a little over $4.5 million. But even more so, we have a tradition of being with the Champions Tour that dates all the way back to 1992, and over $15 million has been raised for charities here in Birmingham.
Success for Regions, the players, and for the community all around. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having us, Dave.
And a special thanks to the tournament director, Liz Leckenby. Jason Miller is the golf course superintendent, and Steve Smith, the PGA host professional, as we go out to the 12th.
Now Fred Funk playing his 5th.
Pretty straightforward pitch shot. Had a good lie, lots of room. Damage control right here, Lanny.
Yeah, I mean, this is not looking good for Funk and Perel. I mean, there's a really good chance that Langer could leave here with a 3-shot lead.
Up 1 to 13.
Glenn Day has this for eagle on the par 5. Big swing to his left. Should pick up some speed about right now. Maybe a little too much moisture on the green from the overnight rains. Slowed it down a bit. Back to 12.
And Lanny, that's something for Perel to keep in mind. He's got 3 par 5s left as he looks ahead. Right now, this chip is the focus of his attention.
No question, but he's also got to stop making mistakes with his wedge and 9-iron. And he's hit great drives, but not taking advantage of them. This, not an easy pitch back down the slope. I take it back. It was a very simple pitch right down the slope. Great talent there. Good soft hands. Cookie, did that look that easy?
Well, the ball was sitting up, and he was using the wind. The wind could have softened it up. It wasn't as difficult as it looked, but a beautiful shot anyway. But you're exactly right.
It
He's got
looked
to
tough
start
to me.
dialing it in.
A
situation
great,
it can be.
Yeah, great form here. The ball was sitting up in the grass, and he gets the club underneath it. Like the work of the right hand right there. The right hand was key there, putting it underneath, holding that blade open as that ball got up nice and soft.
At the 14th, Wes Short, who is 2 under on his round today, make it 3 under. Tied for 5th at 11 under par. These players, depending on what Langer does from here on in, now have some opportunity to move up. Langer, though, with a birdie putt at 12.
15 feet from just left of the hole. Might move just a tiny bit to his left.
I think he's like a shark right now, smelling blood.
You don't think he wants this putt, Lanny?
Oh. There you go. That's exactly what it looked like. He knew what was coming, and I think the guys he's playing with did as well.
Somewhere in the background, the theme from Jaws is playing right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Man, he wanted this, just like John Cook was saying. Look at this little fist bump. It's not even over exuberant. It's like, yes, that's the nail in the coffin I was looking for.
Now Funk for a double bogey.
He's got to be careful with this. 4 feet will break to his left just a little bit. Pretty straight, though.
Fred Funk finds himself losing 4 shots in 1 hole. That's incredible. Did not see that coming.
Just like that, Langer leads by 3 at the first major of the year.
Tee at 13, Bernhard Langer.
Doesn't have to challenge the bunkers, John. Just hit it out there to the right. Easily get to the screen in 2. Good drive. He is looking a little left.
He might have hung back on that one a little bit, and he did. Caught that bunker, John.
Yes, he did. Stand, please. Thank you. To 18.
Where Steve Stricker is putting together a very nice round here on Sunday.
Had a tough bunker shot from that right bunker. This for birdie. Still a very nice round.
It's only his 4th start on the PGA Tour Champions this year. He is inside the top 10, tied for 10th at the moment.
Now, up at the green, or just short of the green at 13, Scott McCarron has an eagle attempt here, Aaron.
He does, and he missed. I'm telling you what, John, he missed this ball releasing down to the hole by maybe 3 yards. It's all he needed more on that second shot, and that would have released from the front and ran all the way down to that hole location. Nonetheless, he's now left with a pretty difficult putt. And if we were playing yesterday, before the rains came, that would have bounced up onto the green pretty easily.
Well, he's got a lot of movement to his right.
Yeah, this is gonna be quick, and he's gonna be moving big time from left to right. And he has not putted very well today. He's missed a number of short ones. Just doesn't have the putter working yet. But this is the first of 3 par 5s that he can get after on this side, John.
Yeah, it'd be a good time to start right here. He did make an eagle here in the second round, so not unfamiliar territory.
They're okay. They're okay. I can't see them over there. They're okay.
Regroup.
Yeah, an overzealous Marshall just kind of giving too many instructions.
Catches that slope. Watch this break.
He's got to sit down. He's got to sit down.
That's pretty well done from there. Back down the fairway. See where Bernhard Langer's tee shot finished.
Really no other option right here, John, at this stage of the game. He does have a good lie uphill and going downwind, but this is the veteran play right here. He had over 230 yards to the front of the green. Although he laid it up in an interesting spot, it will be wet down there in that little gathering area.
Man, look at contact right here. The one thing he's got to do is make good contact, get this up over the lip. That is job number one at this point. Good, clean strike. Wasn't even close to the lip. Took a well-lofted club and played the very smart shot.
You can see the swing for Bernhard Langer, and almost all of that coming at the 12th. As Lanny pointed out, a 4-shot swing as he makes birdie, and Fred Funk made triple after hitting his tee shot out of bounds. This is at the 14th, and Day for his birdie.
Pretty simple look right there, and Glenn's had some nice looks today, just not getting the ball to go down.
Still 3 under on his round today.
Not going to do anything very quickly.
Tom Lehman, this for birdie at 13.
Coming down the hill really, really quick here. Didn't hit a very good chip shot. This looks good.
Looks real good. Sometimes you don't have to chip good if you make those, right? Just a couple of birdies for him today. So Tom Lehman goes to 12 under par. But Bernhard Langer has a 3-shot lead over Scott Perrell. Fred Funk, 4 back at the Regions Tradition in Birmingham, Alabama.
At Regions Bank, we offer the innovative tools you need to make banking simple, so you can take your...
Into this par 5 for his second at 13.
Yeah, Fred Funk hit it right on the front edge of the green in 2, so he's looking to come back a little bit. But Scott Perrell's got 196, 191 to the front, 209 back to the hole location. Easily doable with a 5-iron. Going a little bit left.
Yesterday he put it in the water to the right, so a little overcautious. That'll be an interesting pitch. There's a lot of speed in that one coming back over that ridge. To 14.
This is the par 3 heading slightly down the hill.
Yeah, almost a dogleg par 3 today. The flag sits on the left-hand side of the green, as you see right there, and the players have this tree that hangs over the green. So in essence, for them to hit a good shot, Tom Lehman's got to hit a shot that curves in that way. So to get it close to the hole, they've got to treat this as a dogleg left par 3. Very interesting hole, very demanding hole. Great hole location for Tom Lehman. He likes to work it right to left. Bernhard Langer's okay with it. May be tough for Scott McCarron.
And Tom's got 6-iron down the hill, 181, played about 6 down the hill. This looks good.
Fit his eye very nice and very comfortable swing there for Tom Lehman.
Up 1 to 15.
Wes Short, his 3rd shot. First look at this par 5. He's playing at 505 today. Must not hit a good drive, Wes Short, because had to lay up, but he hit a beautiful 3rd. He'll have that for birdie. Now to 14.
And Scott McCarron.
And Lanny, this could not look good for the Scots. I agree with you.
No, and he's doing what I expected. He's all the way on the right-hand side of the tee. He's got to start. He's got to peel right. It's got to be right at the flag for Scotty.
This looks pretty good for Scott. That was a 7-iron. Very nice shot. Well done.
Back to 13.
Bernhard Langer, his 3rd shot.
81 yards, 74 clears a little bit of a ridge. He's looking left here, Lanny.
Probably trying to use the ridge, I would think, John. Maybe hit it right at the channel tower right back there.
He's got it going right at the flag. Right at it.
Are you kidding me?
Statement.
I think so. Gentlemen, I'm here. Wow.
I'm not sure where John Cook thought the left he was looking, but anyway, we look at the strike right here, right on top of it. Good, clean strike down and through it, and good weight transfer, nice rotation. No flinching in that swing. It looked really nice.
Langer chasing history this week. He is tied with Hale Irwin for the second most PGA Tour Champions major victories. Jack Nicklaus, who won this event 4 times, twice after it was designated a major championship, currently holds that record with 8. Langer also would defend his title at the Regions Tradition should he hang on to win today. And he said yesterday, speaking with Dave Marr, anytime you're mentioned in the same sentence with Jack Nicklaus, it's something special. And he is certainly in that conversation when it comes to the PGA Tour champions.
Yeah, no question. And, why wouldn't it be a good thing to be mentioned in anything with Jack Nicklaus, as well as he played for so long? And, the accomplishments are unbelievable. And Jack didn't devote a lot of time to this tour, but when he played here, he played a lot of quality golf and played very, very well. This is Langer's full-time gig, and he really has embraced it. And I think that attitude, as much as anything, has served him very, very well, much like it did Hale Irwin.
Now, Scott Perel in a situation where he feels like he has to get this up and down.
No question, John, and really quick going back down here. He's chosen to pitch this ball. A little bit surprising, but he does have left clean in place, so I'm sure he's got a good lie. He might have a little check and releaser.
Come on. Need to catch the ridge. Pretty well done.
Not too bad, is right.
It was
Like it
looking
might
right.
get hung up there, but it didn't. It just kind of kept going down, feeding down the hill.
Yeah, he clipped that nicely. He was facing water. It gets past the hole. Well, we got a moment. Let's go down to David Marr.
John, thanks a lot. A guy making his first start in a major championship over the age of 50 with a nice round today. 6 under par for Steve Stricker, 4 birdies in a row. And Steve, can you assess your performance and tell us on these final 6 holes for this final group, what do they have to expect?
Yeah, thanks, David. Yeah, my play was a little bit. There wasn't much excitement to it. I had some opportunities. I didn't do very well on the greens this week. Even today, I left a few out there, and it was a frustrating week for me on the greens. And typically, that's not the case. And I've been putting fairly well, but I just had a hard time reading the greens, getting my speed down. The grain, everything, I just really struggled. But today was a better day, and take that into my play next week. I'm going to play Colonial next week, and so I'm excited about that. But these guys got some birdie opportunities coming in. They've got a couple more par 5s to play, and it looks like Bernhard's in a great position to do it again. The guy's amazing. 59 years old, I think, isn't he? And continues to play as well as he does. It's pretty amazing. So it's fun to see him do that, and I wish I could be up there. But it's cool to see him do that and play well like that.
Well, you play well at Colonial. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, David.
We're going to go out to 13.
Now, Scott Perel looking at his birdie putt.
From the front of the green, Fred Funk putted his down, almost made it. Just went a couple of feet by, had a beautiful putt. Scott now has about 6 feet. This has got a little bit of break left to right, very quick.
I've been very impressed with him, Lanny. Well, not just this week, just when he started out here. He seems to be very relaxed in uncomfortable positions.
Yeah, I agree, John. The only thing I've noticed after watching that for the last 2 days a lot, he really needs to tighten up his iron play a little bit. If he did that, with his length, the way he drives the ball, he's got a beautiful putting stroke, nice touch around the green. He just doesn't hit a lot of irons close to the hole. That's the weakest thing I've seen in this game. But he does hold that putter well.
Yes, he does.
Get all the up-to-date scoring with the PGA Tour Champions leaderboard. You can log on to pgatour.com/champions/leaderboard. Over to 14. And Scott McCarron. Don't want to say this is a must-make, but
Well, it pretty much is. At this stage, any of these guys chasing Langer that have a chance, they get something that's makeable, they've got to make it.
Not a lot in this putt.
There. Just looked like he pulled it a little bit.
Just didn't look committed.
Now 13, Fred Funk for birdie.
And this rolled out more than a couple feet, John. This is good 4 feet.
Nice 2 putt.
Good bounce back.
Yeah. Up at 15, Wes Short has this for birdie. Just to get to 12 under and right in the center. No blemishes on that. Scorecard today for Wes. Now Bernhard Langer, after that beautiful wedge shot, just has a short one for birdie.
Just inside 3 feet. A little feeder going left to right.
Absolutely lovely. Poor drive made up for it with a great wedge shot. Bernhard Langer with a 3-shot lead. Now just so hard to catch when he gets playing like he's playing right now. Hang on.
The Abels got a super low intro rate when they opened a Regions Home Equity line of credit, and the signs are everywhere. In the updated kitchen and the refreshed bathroom too. Region's 0.99% introductory rate for 6 months can help you consolidate debt, pay for higher education, or renovate your home. We're here to assist you with quick decisions and helpful advice. As for the Abels, they're still going with no signs of stopping. Ready to take your next step? Call 1-888-IN-A-SNAP for credit costs and terms.
Bushnell's new Pro F2 is the most advanced laser rangefinder in the world, now featuring slope switch technology. When it's off, it's a tournament-legal rangefinder. Switch it on, and our patented tour-proven slope technology provides an adjusted distance reading based on the up.
All the way over to the right side of the tee to give himself an angle. He's swinging with a lot of confidence. Yes, he is. He just took on that flag. Wow.
Lanny, he is in go mode right now.
Yeah, he sees nothing but flag and green right now, and he is set up right at that flag. Trees on the left. Now, Faye's great release. Boy, he is getting into his left side very well balanced. Nice rotation through the shot. It's as good as I've seen his swing look in quite a while.
Now Perel.
Scott with a 7-iron back down the hill. A little bit out to the right.
And nice shot there by Scott.
Brian Henninger has it going along nicely. 4 under on his round. This for birdie at 16.
Good look right up the slope here. Yep.
Best finish this year on tour. Tied for 27th. Right now he's tied for 5th. Back up to 18, the home hole. Good crowd here on a Sunday. Miguel Angel Jimenez with his 3rd at the par 5.
Yeah, had a great start to the day. Started off birdie eagle, but then that was kind of the end of it. So nice turner from Miguel, but not what he would like.
Already has a win this year in Biloxi, where he defended his title from 2016. Now back to the 14th. 3 golf balls on the green. Time now for Charles Schwab. Own your tomorrow. Players that have won this event in their first appearance. Jack Nicklaus in 1990. This an event he helped to create. Gil Morgan actually won it back-to-back, 1997 and 1998. Scott Perel is trying to join this list. He's making his first appearance, and it's the first time he's played in the final group at a PGA Tour Champions event.
And he's getting a taste of what it looks like to see Bernhard Langer at his best, and you know, it will also give him an idea of what he's got to do to his golf game if he wants to compete with these guys and trying to win golf tournaments.
And a lot of golf left, Lanny, but let's give him credit right now. This is a guy that was a co-medalist at Q School back in December. He's in this event because Fred Couples withdrew. Certainly took advantage of his opportunity.
Oh, boy, did he ever. He's having a great week. I mean, great experience for Scott. I mean, he would like to be winning, but at the same time, if you could have told him, you know, starting the week, hey, you're going to be in the last group with Langer and Funk, he'd have jumped all over that. And he's performing very, very well. I mean, at this stage, I mean, he's beating everybody in the field but Langer.
And this is after he went double bogey, bogey, bogey in a 3-hole stretch yesterday on his 5th, 6th, and 7th holes. He is still in touch with the lead. This for birdie at 14.
And John Cook, he needs a big one to kind of jumpstart him right now, don't you think?
No question, Lanny, and this is the one right here. It's straight up the hill, pretty slow. He can be aggressive with it.
Well, you weren't kidding. That dropped anchor about 2 feet short. Marco Dawson playing his second at 16, the par 4, coming up the hill. This was a moment ago.
That pole location all the way in the back center today. You got a chance to get this close.
Go right ahead. Put me down for a 2 as we go back to 14. Funk.
18 feet back up the hill, very slow.
Kind of powered that through the break on the right. Never got it on line, really. Fred's going to be in a position where he's going to be forcing things here, John, and that's not really his game. He doesn't have the power game to really, you know, force things and make things happen.
He's got to be very, very efficient coming in, Lanny. You're exactly right. He doesn't have that power to, you know, knock it on 15 and possibly 18. So he's got to you know, pretty much go flag hunting. Bernhard's put about 14 feet. Extremely quick with a lot of break right to left.
Yeah, this is one, yes, he'd like to make it, but he's just looking to get the speed correct, keep it on the high side, and have it drop anchor somewhere around the hole.
Hit just a beautiful 7-iron in there, Lanny. I mean, straight over top of the flag. He wasn't looking to the right at all.
Not at all. Tells you how much confidence he's swinging with right now, John. And like I said, his swing looks really nice. Looks like he's really on balance right now, getting into his left side very well. Something he struggles with sometimes. Hello. That one in like it was way too easy.
Bernhard Langer keeping his foot on the gas. A 4-shot lead as he bids for his 8th PGA Tour Champions major victory. He would tie Jack Nicklaus.
Finally. Ron. They're finally taking down that swamp.
Bernhard Langer.
Bernhard just going to free swing one right here. It doesn't really matter where it goes. Hits a good one. He'll have some options. If not, lays it up.
There's a whirly bird, which usually means it's going to be pretty good. Or perfect.
That's where he had it set up, John, down that left side of the fairway. He wanted to be sure that it stayed stayed left, excuse me.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights for Bernhard Langer today on this championship Sunday. Had this for birdie at the 12th.
Really impressed with the second shot here. He played a controlled 6-iron instead of trying to hammer a 7. Really under control. Nice swing. Led to that birdie opportunity there. Buried it. 13. Drove in the bunker. Had to lay up. Really classy little wedge shot here.
Keeping the pressure on as you see his playing competitors up close to the green there on that par 5, then for birdie at 14.
Yeah, went flag hunting here on a hole he did not have to. Really difficult putt, and just goes in perfect speed. Really under control. Has his nerves really under control.
Now this a moment ago, 15, Scott Perel.
Scott's got to take a chance here. He's got to try to get this up that left side. And he's got plenty of firepower to reach green. This is a little too far left. Good angle, though.
If he can get a decent lie, it looks like he does. Now we're at the 17th. Marco Dawson on the tee. Just hold it out at 16 for eagle. Front left hole location today, 183 yards, playing 40 feet downhill, and he doesn't like it.
While we have a moment, the region's shot of the tournament at this first major of the year. This was earlier today at 17. Kirk Triplett.
Got to hit high soft when you get it close to this flag. Kurt is very capable of that. And look at this.
An ace earlier in the day for Kirk Triplett. As you said, not the easiest hole location to make a 1 at that par 3 today. Back out to 15.
Tom Lehman, his third shot.
I cannot tell you guys how difficult this shot is. Oh my gosh.
That's some imagination right there. How good is that?
Unbelievable.
The excitement of college golf returns. The top individuals and teams battling for themselves and their schools to be named the best in the college game. The NCAA Golf Championship start tomorrow. Back-to-back weeks of live golf. Rich Harvest Farms up near Chicago. Back to 15.
Scott McCarron for birdie.
And coming up the hill.
Got
Pretty
to start
slow.
making some putts, and it's not finding the hole today.
That's been a struggle.
Yep, putter is very cold. Back in the fairway. What's going on back there, John Cook?
Well, Bernhard has a decision to make. He's only got 209 to the front of the green, 226 back to the hole location. He does have to bend it left to right, which we know he can shot make. There's no doubt about it. Scott is in the left rough with a really good angle, same yardage, 209 front, 226 back to the hole location. Really only has to fly it a little over 200 yards. So decision on Bernhard's part, no decision on Scott's part.
Now Scott McCarron has this for par up at the green. All right, remains 13 under. Opportunity lost here on this par 5 for him. Now as it go back, we go back up in the left rough. Scott Perel.
One of the things you got to be careful of here is missing the screen to the right, overcutting it. We saw what a difficult up and down Lehman had, and just an amazing pitch by him. But that would be the one thing that would worry me if I was Langer. I would not want to be missing the screen right.
Yeah, because it all slopes away from you and goes down into that rough, and then you got all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, really, if Bernhard is thinking about going for this green, anything short would be fine. Doesn't have to hit it, doesn't have to get it on the green. Anything short is fine.
And there is water left of this green. They won't be looking in that direction, but as you see there's a creek that meanders left of the green here, and it does slope down to that creek if you miss it left.
Scott's got one of his trusty hybrids out. The thing about hitting it out of the rough, the ball goes pretty straight. It doesn't curve a whole lot unless you push it or pull it.
That is to the right.
But it's short. He's got a little bit of green. He doesn't have to worry about that big slope.
Saw Marco Dawson's tee shot at the par 3 here at 17 and long distance away. Boy, this looks awfully good. And can you believe back-to-back twos by Marco Dawson? Eagle, birdie, 16 and 17. Moves to 13 under. Bernhard Langer.
Going to be 20 short or more. Yeah.
Pretty much just as we thought. That he's thinking about hitting this about 15, 20 yards short of the green. It's the widest part down there. Up over top of the trees.
I didn't see that shot coming. I saw where he was aimed, but I just didn't see that play. I'm just surprised he put those trees even in play.
And it didn't get to the fairway, so he's going to have a little bit of an issue with the rough. Not a lot.
Onto the front of the green, let it go.
Huh, no problem. Making it look easy, isn't he, John?
He certainly does. I mean, there was a lot of options right there, and he chose the one that he thought was best, and he committed to it.
And take a look at the contact. It is in the rough, so he could slide the club under the ball. See how easy that ball comes up in the air? Now, it's not going to have a lot of spin, so he's just trying to dump it on the front of the green, release to the hole.
That's Scott Perel, and that's well done from his position.
And that's missed by a foot from being really good.
16.
Tom Lehman ready for his second.
188 uphill, about 3 stories. Can't see the putting surface. This one hung out to the right. It's got to go. Ooh, that will be a tough bunker shot landing right there.
Yeah, it's going to probably be on the upslope as well, Aaron, and that whole location's all the way in the back center of that green.
Talk about the PGA Tour Champions with people that enjoy golf as much as you do. Like the PGA Tour Champions on Facebook, or send a tweet at Champions Tour on Twitter. Back to 15.
Scott Perel will be away, it appears.
Scott had a perfect lie in that right rough and just missed his spot by about a foot. Otherwise, he'd have had a tap in. Now he's got a pretty difficult little putt. Going right to left and picking up speed.
I always thought if your caddy did that, you'd hoped he was really a good putter.
Well, yeah.
Looking at the line.
He may be. I mean, obviously he jumped in there like he knew what he was doing, but I never had caddies help me read greens. I thought, you know, I had more experience putting them than they did.
And knew how hard you wanted to hit it as well.
Exactly. To me, it's about pace and line, and you can have the greatest line in the world, but if you don't know the pace you're going to hit it, it's not going to work.
Well, he usually has both. Let's see what he can do here.
Yeah, he's got a lovely putting stroke, John. He's got a really nice, smooth, good release of a putting stroke. Look at that club head go through it. Didn't make that putt, but the club head goes through, holds its line, releases, toe turning over. Everything about that stroke looks good.
Now, Fred Funk will be next for birdie.
Fred would desperately like to have this one just to at least chip your way back to, you know, a chance. Definitely going back up the hill and a little bit left to right.
As Funk taps in, we'll see who's keeping it simple, presented by Consumer Cellular. Putts per round leaders this week entering this final round. Fred Funk, we've talked about it quite a bit. He's known for his accuracy. He leads the tour in driving accuracy, but this week, Lanny, it's been all about that putter. Unfortunately, a couple of bad swings back at 12 has kind of taken that putter out of play.
Yeah, no question. I mean, the last thing we expected was Fred Funk hitting a tee shot out of bounds and taking himself, you know, for all intents and purposes, out of this tournament. Just something we never expected to see. And I would venture to guess, like, I think Mahaffey or Cook, either one of them mentioned earlier, that may have been the first time this century that's happened.
No doubt. This is for a 5-shot lead right here, John Cook.
And not much to it. This is refrigerator door closed if this one goes in.
That's what he's thinking, too.
Guaranteed.
I like the Chick Hearn reference from the Southern Californian, John. Very good.
Lakers, Lakers, Lakers.
Will the Jello be jiggling? That's the question.
We'll know in about 20 seconds.
Oh, it didn't come back. He thought he made that. Yeah, he said Fred's went that way. Wine didn't mind. He hit that right where he was looking. Bernhard Langer thought he made it for a 5-shot lead, but still has a 4-shot lead in the Regions tradition. Stay with us.
Here, got to stay up the left side. Bernhard doesn't quite have the length to sneak it up the right to pass that dog leg in those trees.
If I'm Bernhard, I'd like to take it right at that bunker, maybe the right side of it. Don't let it get away right. And he did. It's over in the rough. That's going to make for a tough second.
Good left or not?
That was just one of those bad swings. He didn't really need to go that direction, Lanny.
No, it looked like he just came out of it a little bit. You don't want to go left because it really makes the hole long if you go up the left-hand side. So Bernhard's probably trying to squeeze it as far right as possible and just didn't quite stay with it. Now, Perel, I think, needs to take it just off the right edge of that bunker with his length.
Definitely. He's looking up that right side, that little speed slide up there.
Started left. Did he get a little cut there? Whatever
the
he hit
center of the fairway, pretty good ways back, though.
Yeah,
I don't think he caught all that one, Lanny.
It looked like it may be a little low towards the neck, the way it came out, John.
And now Funk.
Fred's got to aim right at the bunker. He can't challenge any place up the right side if he wants to see the green with his second shot.
Just up the left side. Cut it back to the right. This is going to leave a long ways.
Meanwhile, up at the green, another birdie chance for Scott McCarron.
Really good look here up the hill. He can be aggressive, maybe a little bit movement from right to left.
Back nine scoring for McCarron, 12 under. That's because there's 3 par 5s on the back, and that's where he takes advantage. Up at 18, Gene Sowers.
For birdie, didn't think he hit it, but he did. Maybe
68 for the defending U.S. Senior Open champion.
McCarron making a late move, but running out of holes. Our announcer team includes Whit Watson and Lanny Watkins in the booth. I'm David Morrow, your host. John Mahaffey's calling holes, and out of the golf course, John Cook and Aaron Oberholzer. Let's go to 16.
And Fred Funk pulling off a head cover at 16. He is way back at this par 4.
210 back to this whole location, and it's uphill 10. You can do the math. It's a long way.
John Cook, how much do you think that is a factor of the wet weather and there's not much run out on these fairways?
Especially on this hole, just as you're hitting it, back into, the slope of the fairway. This hole's playing a lot different than it has the first couple days.
He's actually got to hit a little fade to get to the flag from this angle. Take it right at our camera tower in the background. Hit a little cut would be what he's looking for.
Very proficient with these hybrids, Lanny. Just a little left of the flag. Good weight, though.
Very nice play. Gets it in there almost hole high. About 40 feet.
Up 1-17.
Scott McCarron on the tee.
183 down the hill. Some 40 feet here, John.
Well, he'll send it straight up in the air.
Boy, and this is straight up in the air, and this looks really good. This is all over it.
Yes, it is. Oh, just a little bit too long. Will he get the slope? Yes. Getting better. Nice shot. Scott McCarron at 17. Back to 16.
And Perel with his second.
184 back to the hole location. Uphill 10. 195-yard shot. Going right at it. Oh, he hit some nice shots.
Yeah, beautiful shot there by Perel. That was one of the better iron shots he's hit today. He's got it there about 12 feet. Pretty simple look at birdie.
And now Langer.
Similar yardage to Scott, but he's looking at the left side of the green. He does have to cut it, but he does have a shot.
Anything up in that green nice and deep would be good. Left side, long putt, that's okay.
Even left rough is not bad, Lenny.
No, you just don't want him going right here. And that's an excellent play from there by Langer.
David Marr alluded to Langer's win here last year. In the final round here in Birmingham, he birdied 16, 17, and 18 to win his sixth major championship on the PGA Tour Champions. He would add the Constellation Senior Players Championship later in the same year. He was the only player to post 4 rounds in the 60s here last year. And he's been in the 60s all 3 rounds this year, so that's 7 straight rounds in the 60s here at this event. His scoring average 67.86 over the last 2 years here in Birmingham. Back-to-back winners of the event, Lehman, Morgan, and Nicklaus. Langer with a 4-shot lead, looking to join that group today. Marco Dawson made an ace at the 16th, or so rather made an eagle by holding out at the 16th from the fairway. Trying to add a birdie at the 18th.
Yeah, and that's a nice read. Perfect speed. Got that putt in.
Best round of the week. Climbs into a tie for 3rd. 2 pretty good shots, Lanny, as we take a look at a growing gallery here following this final group, as the weather thankfully is holding off for us.
It's hanging in there, thank goodness. And really nice shot here, John Cook, by Bernhard Langer, getting it, not only up into the green, but leaving himself the kind of putt that shouldn't have any issues, going back up the slope a little bit, and not that tough.
Just a very veteran shot played. Someone that's won a lot of golf tournaments, knew exactly where he wanted to put the golf ball.
He's done a lot of really nice things in his game this week. He's driving the ball straight, pretty long. He's had it out there with Perel most of the day, which is a good achievement because Scott really gets it out there. And then Bernhard's iron game has really looked dialed in. He's hit a lot of quality shots. You heard John Cook say on one hole over there he had a 30-footer set the first time he's been outside 15 feet. That tells you that he's been spot on with not only the accuracy but the distance with his irons. He's hitting them hole high a lot. Always, hitting them the right distance just as important.
He's 15 for 16 greens in regulation today, which makes him 60 for 70 for the week.
That's pretty good. That's absolutely unbelievable how good that is. But here again, to do that, you've got to drive in a lot of fairways. That means you're controlling the distance and the shape of your irons. You know, and understand, he's not just hitting at the middle of greens. He's taking on hole locations, taking on flags. Some of them tuck pretty well. So he's been aggressive when he's, you know, felt comfortable and needed to. A couple of times I thought he didn't need to be aggressive here at holes like 14, but he was anyway and made birdie. Just really under control with his golf swing.
30 feet back up the hill. Pretty decent breaker left to right. Perfect weight.
No issues there. A little wayward off the tee, but made, you know, played a smart second and a simple 2-putt. No mistakes. No mistakes.
Birdies and stress-free pars on the second 9 today for Langer.
Now Scott McCarron has this for birdie at 17.
Really good look. Another good look right here. Straight down the hill.
That one's not going to get out. Beautifully done. Back-to-back birdies for Scott McCarron. Moves him to 15 under to 16.
Fred Funk for his birdie.
From just inside where Bernhard hit his putt, he knows exactly what to do.
Fred is leading this week in body language.
Yes.
That he is. You're correct.
I liked, as you put it, he becomes an instant spectator as soon as the ball leaves the blade.
Yes, he does.
Boy, what a good look here. 7 feet. He's just seen 2 putts do exactly what he wanted to see. Just outside the left.
And you know, for him, John, second place is a big deal. I mean, money-wise, you know, for his confidence, everything. If he can fight off everyone but Langer, that's a big accomplishment. And, you know, he's been caught now by Scott McCarron. He doesn't know that at this point. But a good look right here for Scott Perel.
You're exactly right, Lanny. Every point, every dollar means a lot to Scott Perel right now.
Yeah, I mean, making a putt like this could almost solidify him finishing high enough on the money list to, you know, a second place finish here, you know, to be exempt for next year, and that's important to Scott. Oh, just never had it high enough. Not sure. He looks like he struggled with some of the reads on these greens a little bit. Because the ball's carrying enough speed, and the stroke looks good. So you've got to think that maybe the read is not what it should be.
Langer maintaining a 4-shot lead as they head to the 17th at the Regions Tradition.
When you're in control of your finances, I just feel like you're in control.
Shot he played at 14. Those two really got my attention. I thought they were spectacular. In both cases, really under control. He made birdies both times, and the big mistake by Fred Funk just, you know, took him out of the game. And you know, he was, like we said earlier, he was like a blood in the water for a shark's circling, and Langer saw that. He made the birdie, you know, 4-shot swing on one hole. So that was just huge.
Ready on the tee at 17.
183, downhill 13, back into the wind. Playing about the number 6 iron, Bernhard.
Pretty good. Either one.
Now he's begging.
Oh, being really good. Hello. Is that a statement or what?
Speechless.
That is incredible. Be good. Wow.
And we're going to take a look at this. Bernhard Langer, he is really, really swinging well. I just love the way he's getting into his left side under control today. Really, see him off that right foot already up, and he's turning through it. Great balance, good swing. And look at it from this angle right here, right into the left side. Fantastic speed.
Either one.
You never hear him do that. I think he was begging for a one.
He almost got his wish. That was lovely.
I think Scott Perel was asking him what he's on. He wants some.
No kidding. Scott Perel will be next.
Well, Scott just got a good visual right there. He's got 7-iron back down the hill. Going left.
Yeah. In the bunker, but it did not plug. Now, next will be Fred Funk.
Fred's got 6-iron. Very little wind blowing out here right now. It just kind of comes and goes. It's on a good line too if it's enough. A little right of the flag.
Yeah, it's plenty. It's a nice shot by Fred.
The LPGA Tour in action later today on Golf Channel. The Kings Mill Championship coverage at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Lexi Thompson with a 4-shot lead in the final rounds. Scott McCarron on the tee at the 18th.
Looking for a fast finish. Birdied the last 2.
Got plenty of firepower to reach this in 2 and gave it to twirl, so he must like it.
Yeah, this is perfect, Lanny.
Bernhard Langer in complete control, in close at 17 with a 4-shot lead.
Welcome.
He's got a terrific short game. We've seen that all week.
Kind of chunked it.
Yeah, he did.
I was a little nervous, I think. Understandably, but a little bit nervous.
Maybe so, but that's how you gain experience, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Fred Funk will be next. Take a look at the crowds here in Birmingham. They love their golf here. Came out to watch some of the best in the world right here. Over 50. And they are seeing some kind of show today. It's a clinic being put on by Bernhard Langer.
John, you couldn't have said it any better. These crowds are very enthusiastic. They know their sports. They know their golf. Bernhard has not let anybody down. Fred's got 15 feet. Just a tiny bit of break right to left.
Just really snapped off to the left. So par 3 for Funk. Perel after his bunker shot will be next.
Big putt for Scott right here.
Huge.
7 feet. Pretty straight.
Well, if he wants to finish second or even get a share of second, he's probably going to need to hold this one. You got to feel like McCarron after that tee shot is probably going to birdie 18.
Well, he saw that Fred Funk's putt from maybe a little different angle from the other side broke left, so this should go maybe a little bit right.
I'm not so sure, John. I think this is an interesting hole location. I'm looking into the grain right now, and that means that from that direction, that putt might go even maybe a little bit left. I wouldn't give the hole away and just be aggressive.
You know, that's kind of what the players have faced all week, isn't it, John? Just really hard to read.
Yeah, most anything inside 6 or 8 feet doesn't break much unless it's really drastic.
Well, you called it.
That turned all the way across the hole.
Wow.
You can just see the grain right here. I can see it. I do believe that. Bernhard's on the other hand is pretty straight.
Well, from this distance, you think?
It's from 6 inches. It ought to be straight.
And now the jello's jiggling.
Yes, it is, for sure. Bernhard Langer on fire. 8 under today, 5-shot lead. Going to the 18th hole where he can reach in 2 if he chooses to. Bernhard Langer, what a competitor. All his career, 2-time Masters champion, trying to win his 8th major championship on the PGA Tour Champions, and that's what he's trying to win right there.
Your best.
The question now for Bernhard Langer is how many? He leads by 5, standing on the last tee at the Regions Tradition. Last year won this event by 6. They are waiting on the tee as the fairway has not yet cleared. Scott McCarron is out there at the par 5.
230 yards for Scott McCarron.
See the hole location right here, so that's what Scott's looking at. He would probably like to take it past that. If he takes it up all the way into the grandstand, it is a pretty good slope off that back grandstand and will come back down, so no reason not to take enough club with his second shot.
Yeah, you don't want any part of short of this hole. We've seen that in the past, Lanny.
He likes it.
Yeah, this is a good-looking shot.
Oh,
no.
That was a little bit more of the grandstand than he wanted to use.
Goodness gracious.
This could take a while.
I did not catch where that ended up, gentlemen.
I don't think anybody knows, Aaron.
I think it might have gone over. Touch them all. That's a home run.
Well, there's the driving ranges over that, I believe. Pond and then a driving range.
David Marr, do you have an eye on this?
It is actually in the bleachers. I'll head up right now, the little corporate hospitality area, see if you can actually play it from back there, or if you'll take a drop.
See if you can find something to drink with that pork chop, David.
Absolutely.
Let's take a second look, Lanny, see if we can find this golf ball.
Well, it made really solid contact as it hit right in the railing of the bleachers and obviously kicked into corporate hospitality right there somewhere.
Wow. That was...
I knew he was trying to use that as a backstop. I mean, it's a great idea to hit that and come back, but you do run that risk right there. Now, the one thing, he's not going to have to go back because of the situation of having grandstands all around 18. They will actually make it equal distant and take him back down the fairway at some point in time to play.
McCarron cannot believe he just nuked it like that. He's shaking his head. And that will clear the fairway for your leader. Coming off a tap-in birdie at 17. Just the latest in a long list of gutsy shots on the back nine for Langer. He has not let up at all.
No, he hadn't, but I would expect this driver to be away from the creek down the right-hand side and up the left side of the fairway, John Cook.
No doubt. He's going to the right side of the tee, and that tells me he is widening this fairway as much as he can to the left. Adds another about 15, 20 feet.
And he's looking right down the left side. That looks like left center.
Perfect. For this situation, perfect.
Step one complete. 5-shot lead as Langer.
He could do really anything he wanted to, but why not just lay one up and wedge one in there? He's got 260 at the hole.
Well, where that hole is located, he'd like to get in the fairway where he can control it. He does. Very nice play there.
Looking ahead to the week to come on Golf Channel, we are at Colonial for the Dean and DeLuca. on the PGA Tour. Another major for the PGA Tour champions, KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship in D.C., the Volvic Championship for the LPGA in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and the flagship event for the European Tour, BMW PGA, all on Golf Channel. Making the walk up 18, Bernhard Langer. He will have to wait as Scott McCarron waits for a ruling up at the green at the last. Today's coverage is brought to you by Regions Bank. Plan your next step in life at regions.com. Go with Scott McCarron. This left for his birdie.
Uphill, moving a little right to left. He just gets it outside the edge, so not the best third shot that he was looking for, and obviously expected to leave this hole with better than par.
Had to take a drop after airmailing the green up into the grandstands. His third ran out a little bit, so McCarron finishing with a 69 after a par at the 18th. Now Langer's third.
85 yards straight up the hill.
Going past the flag, which is a smart play. Bringing it back. Fast putt, but that's okay. And this is some performance by Bernhard Langer. He went out and did what he had to do, and then had a crack in the armor of Fred Funk, and he just ran through that door and took control of this tournament and never looked back.
He is 8 under on his round today.
He had a great round going anyway, but the way he responded when the door opened, for him to take advantage of it, he just went for the throat and just ripped everybody's heart out.
He's going to finish with 4 rounds in the 60s for the second straight year at this event. He is the only player who can make that claim. 8 consecutive rounds at the Regions tradition in the 60s.
Well, he said he liked this course. He said it suited his eye. As soon as he saw it, he was happy with the move over here, and I can understand why.
His scoring average entering this round at this event in the previous 7 rounds, 67.86. He's going to bring that down today. And with a win today, Bernhard Langer joins Jack Nicklaus, 8 PGA Tour champions majors.
You know, when it's you and Nicklaus tied for something and nobody else there, that's probably a pretty good deal.
For anything in golf, no matter what it is.
Waiting on Scott Perel. He has hit it over the green, I believe, as we saw with Scott McCarron getting a ruling, trying to get it to stay on the slope. That's a tough challenge right there. It's a very steep slope. Okay, they have decided it's in play.
I wouldn't ground the putter behind that ball.
No, but the interesting thing is once the official has deemed that it's in play, to me, if it starts rolling on its own, then you play it from where it finishes. I'm not sure they're convinced that this is the final spot it's supposed to be in yet. The way everybody's still looking and still marking.
Where did you see it?
John Cook, what do you think about Scott Perel? He's had a really good week and handled everything very well, hasn't he?
He can take nothing but positives away this week, Lanny. You know, getting in as first alternate and performing the way he has, playing in the last group with Bernhard Langer, our best player on this tour, holding himself, you know, high esteem, I'm sure, in the eyes of everybody out here. Scott Perel is close to winning golf tournaments, and I think that this is a major step in the right direction. Great, valuable experience.
Yeah, and 2 putts from the back left of the screen, and he ties for second.
That's correct, and then Fred Funk has a putt to go to 15 as well, but Scott Perel, he has shown me a lot of guts. He does not back down from anything.
Yeah, Bernhard Langer just wasn't very accommodating to the other players today. He just went ahead and ran off and left them, and when he did it in a hurry.
9 birdies on Sunday in a major championship.
That'll pretty much get it done. This putt's got to move left to right and pretty quick, especially in the beginning. What a great effort that was.
That's impressive, Lanny. There's just nothing else to say about Scott. He's just an impressive player.
It bears repeating, this is the first time that Scott Perel has ever been in the final group in a PGA Tour Champions event. And he has held up magnificently.
He's also seen how you're supposed to do it and win. Pretty good example Bernhard Langer has laid down today.
15 feet back down the hill. Not much to this, and this will not be going very fast.
Didn't need to mark it, obviously, but he is going to wait, let the stage clear.
Courtesy to the other players there. Funk, this is to tie for second as well.
Left edge.
Got it up too high. He put that a full cup left of the hole. Still a fine tournament by Fred. I mean, I'm sure he's disappointed, particularly with the one swing. It took him right out of the tournament. He was right in the middle of this thing till that swing off the 12th tee. Scott Perel with this to tie Scott McCarron for second.
Straight in.
Great tournament.
What a week. Langer and Nicklaus. 8 major titles on the PGA Tour Champions. Elite company. And another chapter in a Hall of Fame career.
That's quite a team right there. Terry Holton, Bernhard Langer. Both of them work as hard as any 2 people out here.
Bernhard made statement after statement today. Key shot after key shot. It is not in his nature to coast to the finish, and he certainly did not do that today. Won by 6 here last year. He wins by 5 with a final round 64 today. McCarron and Perel tying for second. Bernhard Langer is your champion. More to come in Birmingham.